How to successfully break up with someone. Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. And obviously, from the title of the video, we are talking about the ways to break up with somebody, right? Breaking up with somebody is incredibly difficult. And again, the common misconception is that the individual who is being broken up with is the one who is feeling all the pain, is the person who is taking on the brunt of the burden, who is being sideswiped, who's being, destroyed or broken down. But the reality is, the person also doing the breakup is going through some stuff emotionally, is going to feel bad. It's very likely that you love your partner, that you want things to work, but maybe you've gotten to a point or you feel like you have tried everything that you possibly can and you are still not having your needs met. You are still not feeling fulfilled in the relationship, and you've come to a point where your happiness, your own personal well-being and health is now taking a priority, and that is okay. That is not selfish. That is you making yourself the priority. That is you taking care of yourself. That is you developing and growing as an individual and understanding that certain things are just not right for you in that moment. But at the end of the day, how do we do it properly, right? How do we do it with dignity and allow the other person to also express themselves and feel like they are getting some closure from the situation as well, right? So the first thing that I want to advise and recommend is really think about the decision that you are making. Take a step back, right? If you are feeling like you want to break up with your partner, why? Have you asked yourself the tough questions? Have you taken a step back and reflected and said, okay, these are the reasons for why. It's because this has been going on for an extended period of time. I tried this, I tried that, or maybe you didn't try. And maybe it's time to actually invest in trying and invest in communicating and invest in letting your partner know that you are unsatisfied and you are not happy. Because a big part of this also is communication and being on the same page with your partner and having them understand where you are at emotionally. Because in a sense, think about it, it's unfair if you are going through all of these emotions and these thoughts and all of this and you're keeping it to yourself, you're not letting your partner know, and then you're breaking up with them and they're feeling completely sideswiped, right? So be sure about the decision that you are making, because when you make that decision, you cannot go back. And even if you get back together, the damage is done, right? The action itself is completed, and whatever emotions came up in that moment, whatever trauma happened for your partner is going to be a part of them until they work through it. So this is a very serious thing. And I don't want you to just flippantly break up with your partner because you disagreed on something, or you're just not happy about, a very small thing that can actually be rectified or fixed. Breakups are serious because there's two people involved here, right? There's two human beings with feelings and emotions, and you want to make sure that you are giving your partner as much respect as possible. So really think about your decision. Number two, don't waver, right? Once you have come to the decision and you've said, okay, I don't want to be in the relationship anymore because of X, Y, and Z, do not waver. When you go in to have that conversation, when you go in to break up with your partner, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, it is going to be difficult. They are going to get emotional. They are most likely going to beg and plead, and you are going to feel bad and guilty. But that is why I tell you to sit with it for a little bit, to reflect, to allow yourself to process, to allow yourself to potentially grieve the relationship before you even do it. But at the end of the day, it's going to be difficult and you cannot waver, right? You cannot break up with somebody and then 5 or 10 minutes later be like, okay, no, you know what? We're going to try to make it work. Because the right way of approaching it would have been to try to make it work in the first place before doing the breakup. So keep that in mind. The third one is prepare what you want to say beforehand, right? Prepping the conversation is so important, because if you have not prepped the conversation, if you do not know what you want to say, what will end up happening is that you will allow your emotions to take control. And if you allow your emotions to take control, It is likely that you will make irrational decisions. You will say things that you do not mean. You will regret what you are saying. And then you're going to feel so guilty that you're going to want to rectify it. And then it's just going to bring you right back to square one, right? So preparing the conversation, and the reason why it's good to prepare the conversation too is because it allows for you to view the relationship objectively, say, hey, these are the reasons for why I am unhappy and why I am breaking up with you. And that also gives your partner closure, and it gives your partner the ability to potentially work on the things that were not right in the relationship that maybe they are accountable for, but they were not fully aware of those things, right? Prepping is key to any serious conversation, breakup, etc. The fourth one is be clear and concise in your delivery, right? Again, don't waver. Don't come up with hypotheticals or linger in the gray area. If you feel a particular way, be very black and white about it. The reasons for this is because of this. The reason for this is because of this. The reason why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling is because of this. You can't come from a place of, well, I'm not really sure, but the reason for why is because I think that I'm feeling. No, you have to be completely confident and sure in the decision that you are making, because again, if you linger in the gray zone, it doesn't really give your partner closure. They end up staying in this kind of limbo state, and you also kind of stay in this limbo state because you start to question if the decision that you made was even the right decision, because you weren't even sure or aware of the reasons for why you were doing it. So be 100% sure, be clear, concise, communicate what you mean, right? And a big part of this is say what you mean, but don't say it mean, right? So if you are preparing, if you have already reflected, if you are delivering it in a clear and concise way, then it will help the process. That does not mean that it's going to be any easier. That does not mean that there's not going to be emotions that are present, that you're not going to be emotionally charged, but you at least have prepared for the conversation so you can actually approach it a little bit more from a logical standpoint. The fifth thing is actively listening, right? Giving your partner the stage, allowing them to express themselves as well, allowing them to ask questions, allowing them to tell you how they are feeling, right? And even if that does not change your decision, because remember, as I said, whatever your partner says, however you are feeling, you cannot waver. Once you have made the decision to break up, you have to continue with the process. But you are at least giving your partner the stage and creating somewhat of a safe space for them to be able to explain to you the reasons for why they are upset, or at least try to get answers so they can gain closure or move on. And the last part of it is don't linger, right? So often I see cases where somebody breaks up with their partner and then they hang out for hours afterwards, or they end up spending the night, or they stay the weekend. Like, that is not going to help. That actually just creates a lot of confusion for your partner. If you have decided to break up, when you actually go through with the breakup and you're clear and you're concise and you explain the reasons for why you're breaking up and you don't waver, do not linger. Do not stick around. You need to separate yourself from that so that they can actually start to process and grieve, which is what is necessary for them to gain closure and to be able to move on from the relationship. And it's the same thing for you, right? You don't want to create any confusion for yourself. If you guys like this video, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you have any opinions on the video, if you have any questions, maybe you have been through this experience before and you have some tips and tools that work for you, I would love if you put it down in the comment box below. I try to read as many as I can. I try to answer as many as I can. Maybe you just want a little bit more information, right? You want to dive in a little bit deeper and get some more details. You can visit us at www.withmyexagain.com, where we have a multitude of different articles and blogs and videos related to this subject and many other subjects as well. And if you want to book a one-on-one coaching session with myself or any of the other amazing coaches on the team, you can also do that directly through the website. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you're staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you soon.